might be a little controversial. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Teresa, and with the new year setting in, everyone is starting to set goals and intentions. So I just wanted to share the 12 goals that I made for myself for 2022. I specifically chose 12 goals, one for each month of the year. I had to revise this list a few times, but make sure that you are subscribed to this channel because on Friday I'm going to be going over some of the questions that I had to ask myself while I was planning out these goals for the next year. When I'm writing down my goals, I like to script them as if they're manifestations, so I always write them in the present tense. So my first goal I wanted to complete is I published 100 YouTube videos. So there's 52 weeks in a year, and that's like 2 videos a week minus 4, and it just gives me a little bit of wiggle room in case something comes up during the year that I'm gonna have to miss an upload. My second goal for 2022 is to visit 5 new states. So back when I think I was like 19, I set this goal that I wanted to visit all 50 states by the time I turned 30. But I wanted to do it in like the 10-year span between when I was 19 and 29. You know, I had actually been pretty well traveled throughout my childhood because my dad traveled for work. So that's something that has always intrigued me, something that's always interested me. So I made this a goal back a few years ago, and I got off of it, obviously with COVID and everything, and also wanting to revisit places I had already been and not exploring new locations. But as we enter into the new year, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I will be able to visit 5 new states this year. My third goal for 2022 is to fix my car's exterior. I actually don't really talk about this because I'm embarrassed about it. My car, the outside of it has been kind of messed up for like a year now. But I have this belief in my head that, you know, I'm not a good driver because, you know, I've totaled 2 cars. My car insurance is really bad. Like, it's just like a little joke, like an ongoing joke that I'm just like a bad driver. So I have some of these fears around fixing my car. I just see it as a really big investment into something that's not actually hurting how my car runs. You know, it's just a cosmetic thing. However, it does make me feel self-conscious and insecure when people see that my car is like messed up. You know, when I first got it, literally just a year ago, I crashed this car in like 3 months, which is why I'm saying this. Like, I bought a brand new car, I had the money for it. Like, I did not realize how much money it costs to fix bodywork, and it's like just over my insurance deductible. So don't leave that in the comments like, well, why isn't your insurance just paying for it? It's literally $15 over my deductible. The point of this is just that, you know, the way that it makes me feel, even though in my head I have all of these stories about why it's not important for me to fix. It's just about like my mindset and feeling abundant and wealthy and just like a little bougie. You know, when I first bought that car, I felt so bougie. Like, it's not a luxury vehicle or anything, but it was my first brand new car and it's everything that I wanted. It was the right color. It had like all of these cool features since it was brand new, and I just loved this car, and I ended up crashing it so quickly that it reinforced these stories that I had been told for so long that I was not a good driver. So for 2022, it is a huge goal of mine to get the exterior of my car fixed. The fourth goal that I set for 2022 is to go to the gym 3 times a week or more. So if you checked out my video about batching your OnlyFans content, I talk about like my daily and weekly task sheets, and it actually does say like workout 30 minutes, but I've found that that doesn't really like entice me to work out because it's just something that I ignore almost every day. So I've decided to add it to my weekly list as like something that I just have to do 3 times a week, 30 minutes a day, if not more, depending on like just how I'm feeling. But one thing I am hoping to do throughout 2022 is to tone my body. The 5th goal that I set for 2022 is to paint my home. So if you have been following me for a while, you know that last year, like just about a year, a little over a year ago, I bought a house and I have been flipping it and just doing some cosmetic upgrades so that in the future the value will be higher than what I bought it for. So I just want to have the entire interior painted. I did all of like the living room and the kitchen and the hallway ceilings, and then I painted my 2 bathrooms. It's just, as you can see, like this yellow paint, it's not doing anything for me. So I would really like to get everything painted a more like modern color and really have an idea of what I want the space to look like. And I think that paint can really change a space drastically. So I think that in order to put the final details on to the house, I just need to like get it painted and also finish furnishing it. But I'm actually, I think, a lot further in furnishing than I am in painting. So I just want to get everything painted in 2022 so that by the time I graduate school, this house is ready to either sell or lease. My 6th goal for 2022 is to begin getting brand deals for my social media pages. So if you have been following me on Instagram, I will leave the link in the description below. But I am just under 8,000 followers on Instagram right now, and most people will begin getting brand deals around 10,000. So I'll definitely pass that marker this year, and especially with the rate of growth I've seen, I know that I'll have over 10,000 within the next few months. I actually have a few spreadsheets where I like follow how many subscribers I have on OnlyFans, here on YouTube, on Instagram, etc. So if you're interested in seeing a video about that, make sure that you leave a comment down below, and I'll make sure that I get something out like showing you how I have created these spreadsheets, and maybe I'll even include a template if you think that that would be helpful. One thing I did to get very specific about this goal is I wrote a list of 10 dream brands that I would want to sponsor my content. The 7th thing I listed is to get at least a 3.0 GPA for the semesters that I am in school this year. My 8th goal is to make 2 new consistent friends who have similar goals to me and I can maintain a healthy relationship with. I moved out to the country recently, like I said, and I have just been feeling very lonely, very detached from my community. So I would just really love to rebuild that support system. I think that if you're into astrology, I've talked about astrology on my channel before. It's something that I like to follow, and I am currently in what is called your Jupiter return, which is known for just being like a very lonely and isolated time, so that afterward you can emerge as like a more mature adult. So I believe that that is what I have been going through, and into 2022 I will continue that cycle of my life. But then moving forward, I would like to make at least 2 new friends that I can just like count on and spend time with, and we can do things together, and we have similar goals so we can just build each other up, and especially like collaborate on content. Like I want us to have similar goals so that we can pour into each other's cups and work together. My 9th goal might be a little controversial, but it is to, explore my sexuality a little bit more and try dating women. I think I fall victim a lot to compulsory heteronormativity, which is basically when women are just like socialized to feel the need to cater to men, and especially women who are bisexual and don't feel like totally averse to male attention. It can be kind of confusing. So I have never been in a relationship with a woman. I have had physically intimate relationships with women, but I've never been in a relationship with one. So one thing that I would like to do in 2022 is to start dating women. If that leads to a serious relationship, that's a totally different thing, but I have an entire video about why you should be serial dating in your 20s. And I think that that reigns true whether you are homosexual, heterosexual, or anywhere in between or outside the bounds of those 2 identities. My 10th goal is to read 12 books in 2022, which again, I chose 12 because I wanted to read 1 book per month. I also did some visualization with this, and I just like chose 12 books and like even put them in the order of what order I wanted to read them in. And I think what I'm going to do is rewrite that list more so as like a checklist and hang it up maybe somewhere by my bookshelf and check them out throughout the month. My 11th goal for 2022 is to rebuild my wardrobe in order to express the woman that I intend to be. So I have been doing a lot of identity reprogramming, which is a lot to do with like how you see yourself and treating yourself like you already are the person that you want to be through the processes of your everyday life. I think a really wonderful way to express this is through your wardrobe. And one thing that I've found is the more I keep things in my closet that don't fit my aesthetic or don't quite fit me right or whatever, like I'll continue to grab them. So what I want to do in 2022 is I really want to zero in on my own personal style and clean out my closet pretty thoroughly and then begin rebuilding it, especially through sustainable practices such as thrifting. The 12th goal that I actually haven't revealed yet on this channel is I began writing an instructional ebook back in September. So before I started this channel, or even, at the very beginning when I wasn't feeling super confident, even now my channel still isn't that big, but when trying to mull over different streams of income, it came to my attention that I could write like an instructional ebook, which is going to include a lot of the same information that I talk about on my channel, but like, there will be some different interactive worksheets that you can work on, and it will have tons of different information that I think is necessary to know if you are an online sex worker, including like, safety and security and how to manage your money in order to make it work for you into the future. So I started writing that in September after one of my friends kind of like pushed me to do it. I had thought about it. It's actually been one of my life goals since I was little. I've always wanted to write a book. I've even created like a cover for a memoir that I want to write in the future. Like I have so many ideas for books that I would love to publish, but just as an extra stream of income online, I'm creating this digital product for you that I hope will be out and ready by the end of 2022. My plan right now is to have it finished writing by June, so I'm able to edit and refine the content before I release it so that it is the very best product that I can possibly put out for you. Thank you so much for watching. These might not align exactly with where you are in your life, but maybe it'll give you some inspiration for goals that you may want to set going into 2022. And like I said, if you hit the red subscribe button down below and the gray notification bell so that you're notified when I upload new content, on Friday I'm putting out a video including the 10 questions that I asked myself in order to create this list of goals. So maybe that will also give you some inspiration. So I want to invite you back here on Friday. And I also want to invite you to click the links in the description down below. Support me on Instagram, on Twitter. Hit the like button on this video so that the YouTube algorithm knows that it was useful. Like I said, subscribe and keep an eye out for my next video. And I'll see you on the next one.